Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but I'm going to talk about Stellar Blade and gaming journos losing their crap over this game already. We're already seeing the hit pieces, and look, I haven't played it yet, but it just seems unduly harsh. And we know that they've been kind of case building for why this game is problematic, and the reasons they're giving are kind of dumb. They're basically like, well, this game is like old games and it's for teenage boys. And I'm like, well, those games are still popular. Hate to break it to you. So we're going to talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to Patreon, patreon.com/clownfishtv. Go out to Clownfish Gaming, our gaming channel. Gameplay videos, gaming news, and I've talked about Stellar Blade over there before, and now the blessed day is almost upon us, and gaming journos are slamming the game. I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as you are. I thought they would totally love this game. But yeah, all kinds of articles out here. The reviews are not good. This Rolling Stone one took the cake, though. Stellar Blade is a teenage boy's idea of the perfect video game. It's a gory mashup of sweaty action and cheesecake gazing. It's basically like every game in the 90s and 2000s, right? There was a point in the not too recent past where gaming was considered a hobby, mostly targeted at teenage boys. Back when Tomb Raider's Lara Croft became a major magazine centerfold, and E3 gaming expos were more famous for their booth babes than actual games. It was the norm for the industry to cater solely to the interests of pubescent young men. Well, it's a good thing that they've nerfed Lara Croft, isn't it? In recent years, strides have been made, and despite pushback from a vocal minority, technology has brought us to the point where the women in video games can actually look like women, rather than the cartoonish, gun-toting facsimiles of Jessica Rabbit. Who the hell wrote Christopher? Oh, Christopher, you're definitely not straight, dude. Every so often, a game comes along that eschews modern sensibility to utilize all of the industry's greatest tech in service of a clear vision. What if video games made you horny? PlayStation's newest. That's what they're focused on. They're not even talking about the game. They're just like, it's got boobs, therefore it's bad. The newest action title, Stellar Blade, out April 26, is that game. It's also many other games, ripping pretty much every major idea from this era's popular releases and anime as a whole to create perhaps the thirstiest game since Dead or Alive gave up the fighting genre to become a beach volleyball sim. Just that paragraph, Rolling Stone, you have guaranteed a couple of million sales. Because that's all people are asking for now. They just want to have fun. They just want to have fun. Does it make it a bad game? Not really. Video games aren't a monolith. They should be as open a palette as cinema or any. Oh my God. I can't even read this. Does the gratuitous male gazy focus help make it a good game? It makes it a hilarious one. And they go into the gameplay. And they're like, well, she's not a very deep character, and boobs. Boobs, boobs, boobs. Since her public reveal, Eve has been the latest in a line of video game heroines whose over-the-top design is a point of contention. They talk about Bayonetta, and they talk about, they said that her comparison to Bayonetta is unfair, though. She has ownership of her looks, and her mannerisms ooze self-esteem. Whatever. Just like, come on. The game's creators have gone record that Eve was intentionally designed to be pure cheesecake because, frankly, players controlling her will spend the bulk of their time seeing her butt as she runs. That is true. That was also true of Lara Croft, and she wound up being known for that. And then modern game developers, modern game journalists took issue with it. So the one thing that two things she was known for: her assets and her cleavage. No, those aren't the two things. That's one thing, her looks, and raiding tombs. Both of those things are problematic. So what is the point of even making any new games in this franchise? It's not to say video game characters can't be sexy, but when a world and its characters are as flatly written as they are, playing it straight doesn't do anything justice. Taken at face value, the story of Stellar Blade is fine. It's fine, but boobs. Just Just say it. Just say it. It's fine, but boobs. Same thing with IGN. They're basically talking about how sexual the main character is, and that's a problem. Characters lack any kind of personality, charm, or charisma. Well, it doesn't matter, really. People are going to play it regardless. They said the enemies are good. The soundtrack is good. So there's that. Basically, everything but the main character is okay. Kotaku's review, they spend a lot of time talking about her looks again. But they actually said if you can get past her looks, the game's actually not bad. Going out to Metacritic, it's got an 82%. But everybody has to mention how problematic it is. Now, speaking of, yeah, here we go. This is another one. Eurogamer. Stellar Blade brings old school console sensibilities to the PS5 with a modern flourish. A highly polished, bug-free experience if you can get past her jugs, her tits, her ass. If you can get past that, you're good to go, right? And just some people can't get past it. But it sounds like the game itself is actually pretty decent, judging by the Metacritic score anyway. And I think people are going to buy it regardless. I think people, even if the game is mid, they are just, the selling point is this is a throwback to games from 10 or 15 years ago. And people are desperate for that. They want that. Same with television. Same with movies. Like when people are like, oh, this is a cheat. Like this is the kind of movie you would have expected in the 1990s or early 2000s. And people are like, sign me up. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I wanted. And that was the vibe I got from this, was like, this is an upgrade of the kind of a game we would have seen, 20 years ago even. Remember Oni, that game? That was kind of the vibes I was getting from this. I don't know if anybody remembers that game or not. It came out, I think, for PS2. But yeah, there's more controversy now. Apparently the game is now racist. Too. Sony had to remove Stellar Blade's unintentional N-word reference. So apparently they had hard R graffiti, and you know what the hard R stands for, right? Oh my God, guys, it's racist. But they told IGN, don't worry, the offensive reference was unintentional, and they're going to get rid of it. Now they just have crime R. It was hard and the R shop. Now it's crime R. The word hard in pink spray paint appears in graffiti throughout Stellar Blade. IGN reports that in one location. So this was not intentional. So the graffiti said hard, and in one location it was next to an R sign, and everybody's like, look, we knew it. The game has boobs and it appeals to the male gaze. Therefore, it must also be racist. Yeah, she meets her handler, Roxanne, taken together. The players see on the wall it reads, Hard R Shop, a seeming joke about racial slurs. That probably was not the intention. The placement of the two graphics near each other in Stellar Blade resulted in an unintentional, objectionable phrase, Sony told IGN in a statement. Shift Up had no intention of creating offensive artwork, and it will be replacing their graffiti for the day one patch. God, of all the stuff to get pissed about. Yeah, it wasn't like that was the only instance of it. It was like apparently that graffiti was in multiple locations throughout the level. The reference appears to have already been removed from the game. This morning, when Kotaku staff writer Claire Jackson went to revisit Roxanne's shop, new blue graffiti reading crime had been swapped in. So was it Kotaku? Kotaku was like pouring through this game being like, look, there's the racism we knew was here all along because gamers like this game. Sony didn't clarify whether the change will be implemented in later disc printings of the game or only patched via download. Yeah, this isn't the first time there's controversy that Kotaku went looking for. It's not unusual for offensive imagery and references to make their way into the finished game. In 2017, Bungie patched out an alt-right symbol derived from Nazi imagery in Destiny 2. In 2018, Nintendo removed an offensive Mr. Game & Watch animation. A new spray was taken out of Overwatch. Wait, I didn't hear anything about the Game & Watch. A racist Native American animation. What was he doing? Like the powwow dance or something? God, that's crazy. Oh, removes the feather from the silhouette of Mr. Game & Watch. Oh my God, they just look for things to be upset about. That's insane. But yeah, they're going to find problems with the game. The game is going to sell incredibly well because, again, this is just what people want. But if you ever needed any further proof that gaming journos are not on the side of gamers. Articles like this, it's like, oh, I'm sure those nasty men will love this game and her big boobs. There we go. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.